brothers and sisters, generals, family, we are back. We are warriors. We are no longer soldiers. We are now generals. And we taking this, that good old divine discernment, we taking it up 1,000 notches. And we are no longer second nature. We are third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. We are now seventh nature. You know, we're going to start elevating our thinking. We're going to think even, we're going to be even more aware than we have ever been. We can do this, you know, divinely, anything righteous. That's what our ancestors did, right? That's why I give them honor. You know, those who fought hard to get many of us, to give us that blueprint, to get us in that great divine space, that warrior space that we are in right now. We got to have that in our spirit. Got to be strong no matter what. You know, it's a solution in everything. You know, if we put forth that effort and let that divine determination soak in. I mean, let it soak in into our system, you know, up and down our spine, you know, study the spine. You know, it's good the energy we carry up and down our spine because it connects to what? To the stem of our brain. So, hey, you better protect that psyche. Treat that psyche like a cop that's in the intersection. You know, you watch everything that comes in and everything that goes out. You know, got to work every day to be strong. You know, some of us, you know, so everybody's different. Brother, sister, young or old, man. And I salute current subscribers, new subscribers, anybody that view. I salute you. You know, salute to family, you know, that's doing what they got to do. You know, children, you know, may that great divine protect my children. You know, my son, Lord Lamont, is going through a struggle right now. I thank his mom for being a general. You know, I told her she was a general. Real talk. And by the way, my first son, not that it matters or anything, but you know, let me see, my son, you know, he's going through some challenges. Like I said, I'll speak on it. I'm just not going to do it right away, you know, because, you know, I got to talk to him and stuff and, you know, see what's going on and stuff. But I thank his mother. And I will say his mother is white, you know, and that's my first son, you know, and I'm not, you know, I've talked about it before, you know, so, but I love my sisters, you know what I'm saying? I just, you know, hey, before, you know, but she's always, you know, been a good mother and all that. So, you know, but I know how the, you know, the controversial thing can go. But I will say, you know, nothing against her or nothing, you know, but when I first met her, I really didn't know my sisters like I do now. So that's just keeping it real. But just thought I'd throw a little truth out there, you know, not that means anything, because she's a good, strong working woman, you know, and I know we have entities that's freaking evil as heck out here, but she's a good mother. She works, she take care of her business, you know, and I told her that she's always been a general. She's always, you know, so, but, you know, things happen. We didn't stay together and we ended up breaking up, and I didn't see my son for many, many years. And me and my son have spoke on it, and I have spoke on it. So, you know, that's life. Things come to a head, but as we get wiser and get a little bit up in levels of awareness, and a little bit more mature, we understand things, you know, and, you know, I said understand, you know, some things we might not agree with, but when we come to an understanding, at least, then, hey, that's when that journey has flourished, when we understand things, the righteous things, you know, things that can, because we have to focus on things that is important. And that's my son, Lord Lamont, not how he got there or what we did or what I did, what she did. None of that matters. All that matters is both of us, you know, coming together and helping him get him straight. So I just wanted to put that out there, you know, because when you are in that great divine, as I'll speak on here in a minute, when you got that great divine flowing all through your body, brother or sister, it's not a special thing, but we take the effort and thank that great divine for waking us up every day, putting that fight in us, you know, making us go to these jobs that we don't want to go to, giving us that strength. That's why I say, family, brother or sister, family, don't ask for a lot of things. Just say, great divine, give me that strength, and everything else will follow, because the body always follows the mind. So this is another edition of EBX Discussion. Took a minute to get to that. And this is another nature podcast, as you see, over the horizon, over the buildings. As I said it in the past, other podcasts, you'll always see, most of the time, it'll be other things too, but most of the time, it'll be in nature or over buildings or in the universe, because that's where I'm keeping my mind at. No, Great Divine is up high. Great Divine is not down low, mixed up in this mixed social media shit. So that's what I'm going to focus on no matter what. That's why we study our psyche by any means, so we can stay on board and don't get discouraged or taken back and see the divine signs and knowing the art of anticipation. Divine signs and the art of anticipation. Anticipation can save our lives. Man, I'm telling you, mind, body, and soul. See, hear, and feel. It can help us with all those things when we learn that art of anticipation. Because we turn the paranoia into observation. You know what I'm saying? We turn that paranoia into analyzing, checking things out before we jump off of what? An impulse. And I'm going to talk about divine signs and the art of anticipation. And I'm going to also read a definition that I wanted to read in my podcast about righteous, self-fulfilling prophecy. I meant to read it in that podcast, so I'm gonna read it on this one. It's just a little summary, and anybody can look it up. Like I've said, when we read things, especially when they're good, like good for the soul, like food for the soul, it gets in our subconscious, and sometimes because it's good to. That's why it's so important to do positive things, because the little tools we need, the positive things that we have stored in the positive bank throughout the years, it comes out through our lives as we're on this walk. So that's why we do the righteous thing. At least that's my view, my opinion. And then you see things come to pass. And how many of us have had those divine moments like, man, I'm glad I did this, so this happened. Ooh, I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm telling you. And that's what help us to keep, having those things happen when we do them, because we do them more. I tell you, one righteous result, man, can catapult us to many results, and it makes you hungry for solutions and make exploring ourselves fun. It doesn't always have to be a stressful thing or a hard thing. No, it can be an amazing thing. It's just how we look at ourselves, the environment we're living in, the mindset, all those things we talk about, But do we pay attention to the divine signs? I think the divine signs are important. And I'm going to give an example. Now, I talked about on the podcast where I went to work one day and I had no check. Now, it was a time before one was aware, as many of us out here now. Like I say, it's just a matter of paying attention and studying yourself. Anybody can do this, brother, sister, young or old. So I didn't have a check. Now, it was a time where I would get all emotional and where's my check at and all that. Now, a little bit of me was a concern, of course, because I'm used to going to work and seeing my check, so it wasn't no check, but they wrote me one and the check just disappeared. But my theory is someone stole it. That's my theory. I never really said that. I didn't accuse or say any names. Just kind of did a little secret investigation of my own, just kind of observing how people act, what they say. And I'm telling you, that's how we get those solutions. This is how we find out things. Don't jump off an impulse. We pay attention to the instinct, but don't jump off the impulse, which has to be studied and practiced, because that's not easy to do, especially with us melanated brothers and sisters, because we know as black people, we can be very emotional. So that's why we have so many teachers teaching on studying our emotions. But we're going to get emotions, but we learn how to regulate them. And when we see ourselves doing that, we leap bounds and we begin to figure out things. And, so going back to the check not being at my job. So I just chill, because I don't have a bank account. I haven't had a bank account in years. So you can't steal nothing from me. I don't know how you're going to get it. You're going to bust through the walls of where I have it. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So, because I boycott banks. I don't do banks. Real talk. I hate banks. You hear me talk about banks with a vengeance, because I've done research. And I hate the way this world is. I don't like that word hate. But the banking system is a part of this, matrix. So, but I ain't gonna get too far into that. Do your own research, to each is his own. But I not having a bank account to me, I'll get back to the check thing. Not having a bank account to me helped me be even more disciplined than I ever been with money, because I don't need no bank to discipline my money. Because again, like I said, to me, that makes it look like that we are inadequate. Like we can't save our own money. We can't save our own money. Then to me, if you can't hold $1, some money in your hand without spending it, save it. You can't save it. To me, I think that's a problem, but that's just my view. So, or a challenge, however you want to look at it. But let's go back to the check that was missing. Now, I analyzed the situation. I broke it down. This is where I'm talking about divine signs. So what I got from that, now everything's back normal, by the grace of that great divine, I do have some good managers on the job. I've been working around them for a long time, and it's wonderful. It's not like that on every job, but it's nice when it is. So, and they appreciate me, because you can feel when you're not appreciated. Trust me. But I think they appreciate me, and because I actually do what you're supposed to do as an employee and all that kind of stuff. So they made sure they got me another check, and they made sure I got my next check and all that. But what I pulled from that was a divine sign. Now, I'm already disciplined about money. And, again, this is not just about me. This is about many other brothers and sisters that maybe can relate to this, or, I just shed some light on focusing on those divine signs. Sometimes they're pivotal, real talk. So what I took from this, like I said, it was a divine sign and part of the art of anticipation. So I took that as to be more stern, to be even more disciplined, because you can never be too disciplined. If I hear somebody complaining about, oh man, I'm too disciplined, what the hell? You know what I mean? So that's how I looked at it, because what do I always say, folks? As a human being, we never know what's coming down the road. But hey, guess what two forces do know? The great divine and Mother Nature. So let's go back to divine signs. I took that as, we never know what's coming, as I just said. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna save even more. I'm gonna cut back on certain things that I buy that I really don't need. I'm gonna cut back on it and save even more and double up, because you just never know. So, and this is something that I've learned from my mom. My mom used to always say, always save money for a rainy day. That's one of her things, and so she instilled that in me. It took a while to get to where I could save money, of course, but now that one is. And I think the reason why I came up with this topic and why we need to pay attention to those divine signs, because it's a sign that's like, it's not nothing like scary, like something scary is going to happen, just keeping us ready, keeping us prepared, even when things are going right. We have to see the divine signs then, because the moments when everything's going good, brother, sister, young or old, that's when we can get caught off guard. So that's what I took out of that. We can't, we get in a good space. Now, it's good to be happy and everything flowing and you're aligned and everything's moving good. But always kind of keep that third eye open, just to kind of, because like I said, I went to work, no check, and I'm used to that check being there. So that just showed me that don't take things for granted. And, hold on, whatever money we have, hold on to it the best way we can. So that's what I got out of that. And now I've developed, I already had it, but now, like many brothers and sisters out here that are reachers and teachers and in our family, salute. Now I'm starting to develop that art of anticipation even more. Now it's even more powerful. Now that third eye is really looking and paying attention. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, like, sometimes working these jobs and the routines every day, and we do the same thing every day, and we get into that. I don't know what to call it, how to explain it. And it's like that divine just snaps us out of it. If we're connected to it, if we take those times and speak to that force, we got to take those times to speak to it. We have to acknowledge it, deep within our soul, so we can see those divine signs. And I do take moments to speak with that force. I say, thank you for waking me up. When I'm in my meditation, I don't say it out loud, but I think it in my subconscious, calling down protection, calling down strength, things I say. That's also the things I say when I'm meditating or to myself. The same thoughts I have when I'm by myself is what I speak on these podcasts and videos. So when I feel it, that's when I speak. Y'all hear me say time and time again, when that great divine tell me to speak, I speak. When that great divine tell me to shut up, I shut up. Because we know what we know, and be humble about the things we don't know. We'll flow through life like that. And then we won't miss things or think we know everything or be on this high horse. No, we'll be level. We'll be right there, almost parallel with that great divine. So that was just a little story and example about when we're on a righteous road and everything going well, divine will drop little signs on us just to keep us it's almost like an update, because be thankful if you are getting divine signs. That's a good thing. Real talk. That means that force loves us. It loves everybody, but it gives us all our own choices. You know, we hear a lot of us say, you know, I'll say God. I say great divine, but God, quotation marks. You know, they say God give us all free will. Yeah, sure does. But it also gives us accountability. I think people leave that part out. They say, because it's like people want to be able to use God the way they want God to be. It doesn't work like that. So that's why I say divine. It's got to go through our body, you know. So it gives us free will. Yeah, then people run with that. But it also gives us accountability. As I said, Great Divine and Mother Nature are like parents. It will give us the strength. It will give us the tools. And then be like, okay, now what you going to do with it? So that's why you hear that term, be careful what we pray for or ask for or wish for. It shouldn't be wishing anyway. Because you have to, when we're trying to get something, I'm just giving an example, whatever that is, brother, sister, young or old. If it's something detrimental, I won't say detrimental, but if it's something very, very important and vital, of course we have to think about it. You know, Great Divine will give us everything, anything we want, but we got to make sure we're ready. You know, we can't force things and stuff like that, because that force, that Great Divine be like, okay, you want to force things, huh? Okay, here you go. Then you're not ready. So that's why I always talk about impulses, because that was a challenge for me, those impulses, because anything, man, toxic bad can happen when you jump off those wrong impulses, you know, porn and seeing, you know, big booties and butts and titties and stuff on Instagram and stuff like that, and Twitter, or not Twitter, but X. You know, that's the main reason why we had to watch our impulses, social media and in the world, because we can take that toxicity that we got from social media and we'll carry it out onto the world, into our lives. So, because, man, whether we want to know it or not, or believe it, whatever we want to think about social media, it is a drug. And that's kind of a hard pill to swallow, you know, because it's getting so freaking, how can I say it? It's getting so crafty, this social media. Even those of us with a heightened self-awareness, we like, whoa, you know what I mean? So we have to really, really be careful. What I always say, like, and this is for me too. You know, it was a time I was caught up. So, because sometimes we can be engaged, even if we're looking at something positive, we just be engaged and we be so gone in it. We're like, man, Lord. It's like you get in a zone. So you just have to be careful about those type of things, you know. So that's why it's good to study and work things out, meditate. Because a lot of things come up out of our subconscious that can help us see that great divine sign. So I see many signs, you know, signs all around. When you're in that space, that righteous space, we'll see a lot of signs if we're paying attention. And I want to read, like I said, the summary, and thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion. I appreciate it. We are leaders and teachers. We are not followers, with a student spirit. I thank you. And family also, brothers and sisters in the world and online. And I want to read this little summary about righteous, self-fulfilling prophecy. It just says self-fulfilling prophecy, but I put righteous on there, you know, because it's got to be righteous. And I just wanted to read it because, man, when you just doing the right thing, you will, it's just, things will just be automatic. They'll come, you know, a righteous, self-fulfilling prophecy. When you're just giving out great energy just because we can. And that's that part of free will of that great divine that is beneficial. That's the part of free will. But don't forget, folks, also gives us accountability with that free will. So that's what people forget. You know, they think they can alter their body and alter their body, and they can, you know, they was grown, that they were born one way, but they want to change it to that way. And great divine just sit back with his, you know, let's say if the great divine has arms. Of course, that being probably don't have arms. So just giving an example. With his arm crossed, was like, okay, yeah, go ahead, change your gender. Yeah, go ahead, yeah, do what you want to do. Yeah, sure. And then bam, hit you with that accountability. Because I have, you know, I don't judge no one. You know, I assess, you know, because when you have studied karma and great divine, and and Mother Nature and all those things, you know what's going to come to individuals that go against nature, go against what they were born to be. You already know what's going to happen. And Great Divine is going to take care of them. So yeah, you willy-nilly do what you want and all that. But only thing about doing what the hell you want to do, especially if it's toxic, you have to take everything that comes with it. I think some people forget that. I do what I want to do. I don't need God, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right, yeah. Keep on talking. Yeah, And that Great Divine, I'm sure, will be saying the same thing. Yep. And just let you flow on with your life, and especially if you're demonic and you're toxic and you're narcissist and you don't give a damn, that Great Divine will just let you flow, do what you want to do, and then bam, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we live righteous, so we don't be hit with the bam, because when you live in righteous, Great Divine hit you with the subtle signs. It depends on how we live in our life. If we get that bam, you know what I mean? So I want to read this summary about a righteous, self-fulfilling prophecy and how, as I said, positive energy is good for the immune system when we practice it, meditate on it, and really take it serious and get it into our subconscious. It just leads to great things. Not that it can cure or stop everything, but it damn sure can help. So, all right. Righteous self-fulfilling prophecy. A righteous self-fulfilling prophecy is an expectation or knowing that can influence your or our behaviors, thus causing the knowing to come true. The idea behind righteous self-fulfilling prophecy, also known as, let me see, I can't read this, y'all. I can't read it. It's Pygmalion. I gotta look that up. I'm sorry, I cannot read that. But it's also known as the Pygmalion. Pygmalion Effect is, I'm gonna have to look that up. Pygmalion, I can't read that. Sorry, y'all. I cannot read that word. Pygmalion. One more time. Pygmalion. Effect is that your knowing about what will happen drives the actions that make the outcome ultimately come to pass righteously. Man, like I just said a few minutes ago, when you're living righteous, you know great things will come. So the flip side, when somebody's living toxic, and those of us that are watching and observing, you're not going to affect us. You can do it, like I say, free will, do what you want to do, but you're going to get hit with that bam. You know what I mean? It's going to come. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I want to read that one more time. A righteous self-fulfilling prophecy is an expectation or knowing that can influence your or our behaviors, thus causing the knowing to come true. The idea behind a righteous self-fulfilling prophecy, also known as Pygmalion, Pygmalion effect, is that your knowing about what will happen drives the actions that make the outcome ultimately come to pass. Man, it's wonderful. And when we do pay attention to those divine signs, and we have anticipated, and we didn't jump off no impulses, and we finally get that thing that whatever we're trying to get. Of course, we talking about righteous things, and that's brother, sister, young or old. Don't it feel good when we earn what we want, and we are doing right, and we come into something natural, and we didn't, do anything bad to get it? It's the most wonderful feeling in the world. But we have to feel that, in our subconscious, so we can have a real vibration and share it to others. Because it's wonderful when we can, because it can be challenging for some of us. Because again, we're all on different roads, different individuals came up different. A lot of us came up through that cheap ass religion, and it's like religion is a throwback of spirituality. It's like a copy of spirituality, because as many of us say, and I've learned this myself, I didn't know at one time. Religion and spirituality is two different things. Remember, I learned that. It was something I didn't know. Because the more you get up in awareness and you really see life for what it is, that's how you'll look at a religion, a cheap ass throwback. That's what religion is, a cheap ass version of African spirituality. Because African spirituality, that's where it's at. Because I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, and I bet others can attest to this. Since I've come out of Christianity, now nothing against those who are in Christianity or any other religion, because everybody has to go through that truth. Everybody has to go through it. This was just mine. So I'm not like trying to offend no one else, because I too used to be a Christian. But I'm telling you, the things I observe, because you had to do introspection. You just remember things that you went through or did when you were a Christian. So to be honest, I was worse when I was a Christian. Real talk. I was worse. I was praying and doing everything. But once I became into African spirituality, which was not easy, and I'm still learning, because I don't know, it's something about when you really study African spirituality, when you really learn it and study it and listen to other teachers that are scholars and really know about it. Woo, man, it touches that shit on the inside. Holy crap. And that's why you see when you see other individuals that might hear somebody, not me, but I mean just anybody, hear somebody speaking about African spirituality, they get weird and get funny because it shakes that shit up within. It does. And people are going to act, I don't know, people act many ways. They're either going to be offensive, or they're going to withdraw, or they're going to try to come at you, all because they don't understand what they're hearing or experiencing. Because I think I kind of went through that, and it can be a challenging thing. Like I said, becoming aware and coming into one's righteous spirituality or African spirituality, it can be amazing and fun, and you explore, but the other side, it can be challenging. It can be uncomfortable. It can make you feel uneasy. You have to go through all those things depending on where we are, in our confidence and that self-esteem thing and ego and all that stuff. Depends on where we are on that, and whoo, I had to work through that shit, and it wasn't easy. You have to go through it. You feel better when you do that. You feel so much better and relieved, and you come through these things. When you see these things, when we pay attention to those divine signs, and we begin to learn the art of anticipation, and you start flourishing. And then you say, man, you know what? I want to teach this to somebody else, because I've said this on that protection, great call down protection, protect us in these times. That was the title of the podcast. And I always say keep a family spirit, because I do solitude. A lot of times I spend time with my kids, don't get me wrong. I haven't, like I said, I got a big family. I haven't seen that part of my family in a while, but I always keep it in my spirit. What one seeks for oneself, which is power, being wise, being humble about the things we need to be humble about, and just keeping that love within, and having strong discernment, and just having positive energy and teaching it to others. All powerful things of that great divine that I seek for oneself, I want it for everybody else, like brothers and sisters in the world, online, my family, children. So I don't just want it for myself, because we are in circles. We have family, like I always say, family, significant other, children. So we have to be strong. We have to want it for others, because that's how we build that fortress. That's how we build generals and warriors out here, from young too. That's a great benefit when we can build our warrior sisters, our young warrior sisters and warrior brothers. Man, it's wonderful when we can see that, because it's a rarity. We don't see it a lot, but when we see it in young brothers and sisters, it's wonderful, man. But we got to stay at it and chip away. It's a lot of things out here that's, fighting against those that's teaching out here, brother or sister. Salute, and our family members. So that's why we pay attention to those divine signs. As that example I gave about my check, that's just one of many great divine signs I've had. I've had many. And I'll talk about more of them as I do more podcasts and videos. So again, brothers and sisters, if you want to see those divine signs, and some of them are pivotal, and I just say divine on there, but we've all had those divine moments, whether you want to say God, whatever you want to call it. All of us, especially melanated brothers and sisters, we've all had those divine moments, whether we're a godly person, whether we believe it or not. We've all had those moments we can't explain. And in my opinion, my view, that's a divine sign. That's when we pay attention, especially in those vital times in our lives. Pay attention to the divine signs and learn, please, because this could help us. This is like playing out scenarios in our lives. I always say scenarios could save our lives. Same thing with the art of anticipation. And we get away from the paranoia. We begin to become observers. And because we're trying to grow, we're trying to live, and life it's not a game out here. I don't even like that word game. You notice I never say that word, because like they call hip hop is not a fucking game. It really ain't. And to some people, it really means, to a lot of people, to be honest, especially melanated, it's our life. It's our legacy. Like Bob Marley said, it's a verbal newspaper. Something from the soul of melanated brothers and sisters, along with other genres of music that we created. Real talk. Because all music came from African brothers and sisters. It just got changed and formulated and packaged and repackaged and sold back to us. Real talk. If you do your history and research, we'll know this, which a lot of us do. It's a lot of us that's waking up out here. Again, we in the right circles. We'll know who the real ones are. We don't have to wonder or nothing like that. Because when we locked in to that divine zone, I'm telling you, we'll know the signs and see the signs and feel the signs. Social media, yeah, right. We seventh nature. Remember that. We ain't second nature no more. We seventh. We move past 3, 4, 5, and 6. No, we seventh. And you know about that number 7th, right? 7 is my number, because I was born in the 7th month. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I was gonna say I was a Cancer. I don't really go too much for signs, but I'm a Cancer. And 50 Cent is a Cancer, and that was remarkable to me. And when it was some clip I was watching, 50 Cent said he was a Cancer, and I was like, oh wow, it makes a lot of sense why he the way he is. So I kind of see how 50 Cent thinks, and 50 Cent been funny here lately. 50 Cent should have been. He should, I know he a good artist, but he should check his other gift, because I think he got the gift of comedy. Real talk, 'cause the brother can be funny. Some of the stuff he been saying lately, oh my God, been funny though. Salute to 50 Cent, real talk. But yeah, and to me, he's a brother that knows the art of anticipation, because he don't look like he ain't no bullshit. So I think they tried to come at 50, but 50 too smart for him. Real talk, he too smart. So just hear that brother speak in some of these interviews. He's a smart brother. He far from stupid. Real talk. And other brothers like him, that are artists. So again, I just wanted to give a little advice, as I always say. Suggest, teach, and give advice, brothers and sisters. Man, while we in this social media water out here, so this shark infested social media water, pay attention to the signs. Don't be. Man, just be careful, brothers and sisters. As I said about that check, that's just an example, but a lot of things can relate to that. That's just one thing, that I've encountered or experienced out the blue like that. So, and now if I was distracted and all emotional and wasn't paying attention, I'm telling you that would have took me a different mindset. And I'm telling what would have happened if I would have been all emotional and not paying attention and observing, So that's why it's important to observe. And know the art of anticipation, just so we can be ready, and be there for our family, our children, significant other, those brothers and sisters that's teaching out here. Salute, may they great divine bless or bless you, as well as my family. Salute, one love to my family. So, brothers and sisters, current subscribers, new subscribers, anybody that view, those with the platforms on fire, man, brother or sister, and as always, my family, pay attention to those divine signs, man. Don't let this fucking media world take us away from those great divine signs, because they trying to cloud it and distract us from it. They don't want us to see that great divine force, because once we connect it to us, you can't stop us. Can't stop us anyway. It's too late now. We too far gone in positivity. We locked in to that great divine zone. So y'all stay strong out there. One love to my family. One love to your family, brothers and sisters in the world or online. Please keep that ultimate peace in your part of the world, wherever you are. Family, children, brothers, and sisters. Salute.